of this event so far. Been a number of days since we've seen Katie compete. We saw Sawyer the other day, but it does feel like a lifetime ago that we saw the women in competition at this event.
Yeah. It's time for the quarterfinals. Sawyer Lindblad, C.Simmers in the lineup now. Two 19-year-olds looking for some big sections. Right out of the gates, we've got the goofy foot from San Clemente, California, Sawyer Lindblad. Here was Sawyer on her first wave.
Yes, Sawyer, this was a really staunch wave from her. I like the way that she attacked these bigger oncoming sections. I mean, when you look at the height of those sections and just how critical her maneuvers were, I think the judges are really going to enjoy this two-turn combo. The degree of difficulty right there to maintain her body composure over the stringer of the surfboard, right out clean.
Throwing down a two-turn combo. One of her best friends on tour happens to be a world champ. C.Simmers throws down the slice, driving right towards Lindblad through the froth on the face of this wave. Finding her bottom turn, nice arc into the pocket, back into another slicing cutback. The pride of Oceanside enjoying this ride all the way through this inside track. She loads up, throws down the carve again, finds a lip section, and goes down on the finish, waiting for her score to come through. Let's go to Katie's wave first here.
Yeah, lengthy wall for Katie to really sink her teeth into. You see Sawyer on the inside there, just watching her competitor. A lot of foam on the face. This is the second wave of the set, so she's got to kind of get around all those lumps and bumps. Seeing the wind coming from that southwest direction. And Katie just relying on that rail. Feels like this wave, you know, really figuring out the tempo and the timing of this wave. Looking for that finish on the inside as this wave starts to steepen up. You know, the only critique, obviously, that she didn't make that last maneuver there. Loving the water angle. You can see how cupped out this wave gets, and loving this long period swell, Joe. A lot of the surfers coming out of the water saying that the energy right now, the wave's got a lot of push, a lot of power behind it, and really enjoying today's conditions. Love the mix-up of the layback there.
What's your favorite part about Katie's style with turns like this?
Unpredictable. I think Katie, you're always looking at her repertoire. You never know what she's going to do. I mean, it's always interesting when Katie gets to her feet because she's got such a unique read on the wave. Beautiful bottom turn. I mean, just her fundamentals are just so strong, and then you've got the added elements of unpredictability,
which we can't say on TV, but that's kind of the attitude that I think a lot of people have surrounding C.Simmers. She's out there, she's a fan favorite, she's going up against one of her best friends right now. This is a dream matchup for surf fans all over the world, including everybody in Oceanside and San Clemente.
Thank you, Chris. Sawyer Lindblad has a nice section to connect with on the back end. Just doing some impressions of lowers right, especially with this type of wind and this pace to this inside section. Sawyer drives off the bottom and is able to really put a solid finishing move on the end of that wave at Punta Roca, using priority well. That score will go with her 5.5. and she will take the lead over her best friend on tour, 6.43.
Yeah, really good little scoreline shaping up for Sawyer right now. Just pushing so hard off that tail when the wave gets critical. Has great timing and read through the sleepy section, eyeing off something down the line. Almost a little bit of a hitch there with the chop on that bottom turn, but cleans it up so nicely. Smooth, powerful surfing, just on a pendulum, Joe, just up into the lip, and finishes it off with that whipping maneuver off the tail. You can tell, like, Sawyer, I've noticed that she's been down at the beach, she's been chatting with Jake, she's kind of been really assessing the conditions and watching the other performances and, you know, taking notes as we go through this competition. Sawyer's had a smart approach to heat management, as well as what's going on in and around the event.
Such a great athlete. C.Simmers now will try to get the lead back. Just running down the line, this wall, just waiting for Simmers to grease that first turn, back up to the top in an unreal transition. Still going in attack mode. World number one just slows things down along with the pace of the wave. But wow, it was rapid fire excellence from C.Simmers. It's opening up again. End section. Throws down a snap, but she'll let go of it. Maybe fatigue playing a factor.
I'm having flashes of lowers when she won her world title, just looking down the line, so much speed. And I think my favorite thing about this two-turn combo is there's no, she doesn't burn the speed to kind of control that move, come back into it. That third slash right there, there's no hitches, no rail bogs, there's none of that. It's all just clean, precise, technically sound surfing. I think the judges are going to have an absolute field day with this wave from Katie. Is that a make?
I think it's incomplete. You know, it's the best in the world these days, but I think she did enough damage to get the best score of the heat so far.
It's fun having a little look in the competitors area, because you have Jay Bottle Thompson, who's here supporting the Australian crew, and he's a former World Tour surfer, and he's kind of just shaking his head at the surfing that Katie's doing right now, because it's just on a whole other level.
There's just that grace side of it all, that finesse, that connection. Got the beach breaks of Oceanside, North County, San Diego. You've got lower trestles and all the beach breaks in San Clemente. Seen a lot of each other. Sawyer's up now, looking for the lead again. Nice patience before that first snap. Goes down to the bottom. Nice second turn to find the power source and attacking that whitewater crumble. Pushing hard off the tail. And now on the windup, big section, big windup, absolutely drilling it is Sawyer Lindblad. Each turn was perfect for the section.
A couple chops up the face of this wave, and she does so well to kind of eye off these sections, hit it up in that top third where the wave is still has that little bit of steepness. Working it down the line, gets that projection up and over with that float, and again just whipping that tail. So every maneuver that she's done has been different, and that ender right there was just so sharp and precise. And I think Katie's really bringing out the best in Sawyer as we watch these two women compete against each other. Sawyer's definitely taken it to that next gear, more so than we've seen in the earlier rounds of this heat. Better waves, more quality surfing. Sawyer's definitely meeting the moment. Tricky wave to surf. That was that first wave of the set. We've seen that southwesterly wind kind of play up the face a little bit. She's used to this though. It's almost like a south wind at lowers later in the afternoon.
Yeah, nice back and forth with these two, and also just changing gears for the backhand attack is great to see. Able to go more vertical. She's definitely leaning into her spot in the semifinals on the line. That'll be tomorrow on finals day. Sawyer looks like she wants the first one. First turn, nice placement, right in the pocket, ton of speed. How is that classic style off the bottom from Lindblad? Pushing harder into the pocket there. Another fading cutback, looking to better a 6, but needs a 6.92 for the lead. Hits it off the lip line. Nice connection. Long runner here. Good backhand pace of this wave, and she will shut it down.
This one from Sawyer, maybe one of my favorite waves from her. First wave of the set. These turns were incredibly critical. Tack sharp, and like I mentioned, it's so hard to stay in that critical section when that whitewater is trying to push you out and make you more lateral. I think Sawyer's going to be looking good for, just that sub-7, but the tricky part is Katie's score that's going to come in.
Gosh, what a great exchange that was. No mistakes from Lindblad, but world number 1 with some speed and flow. Little slingshot wrap. Laying down that rail in the pocket again. Slopey open face, but gosh, look at her speed she's holding. Great looking surfboard from Chris Borst. Fun inside track. She is just skating her way into a solid connection on the inside. What a great battle with these two 19-year-olds. There's Katie's dad. He's kind of trimmed that handlebar mustache a little bit, but he does have a Harley to go with it at home.
No. Here we go. So Katie, this is the answer back from her. The second wave of the set. Clean face, just hits right back into that water, white water. Extremely difficult to not get bounced off by that strong whitewash. And she's doing her best to stay in the critical part of the wave, because these waves tend to push you out to sea and make your surfing seem a little bit lateral. So Katie just read that wave so well. Love the finish on that wave. Love the start. Pushing through that tail, releases the fins, just stays head and shoulders over that stringer, making sure that she rides out of that move.
Katie's got fans everywhere. They love that one. I think that was for Sawyer too, though, because she put up a great fight. Coming up next, it will be Gabrielle O'Brien taking on Bella Kenworthy. We'll have Matt Violas join us for the call. We'll be right back.